Hey, you asked for a video of my slightly questionable orange filament. Here's the spool. I cut a piece off of it, and I'll show you how it's behaving as compared to two other pieces of filament off a spool. A piece of gray, which is off a filament, it's a piece of filament off a spool that you just sent me, and then another piece from another spool. So first, here's your average PETG, gray, flexible, bending with a wide curve. Here's the orange piece of PETG. It's taking less force to kink it, and it's kinking in a more brittle fashion. I'm applying the same force at roughly the same sort of space away from the bend there. And again here, same space away from the bend, no kink. Here I'll pull up another piece of the same orange filament. Again, same space away from the bend, and there, same deal, a kink is developing. I don't know if that's the entirety of the spool or if it's the outer 10 layers or something, but that's the behavior I'm getting. I'd say it's manifesting in a couple of ways. One, when I just print it straight through, it's causing a little bit more sputtering than normal PETG would, and so my thought is maybe just a bad batch of plastic had a little more moisture content in it than it should have, and so you're getting a little bit of steam escaping. I also have a palette 2S from Mosaic, and in that case, I don't know, I assume somebody there is familiar with how those work. In that case, the filament is being spliced together, and I'll show you. So here's a splice executed from the palette 2S. And in this case, these splices are failing at I'd say a rate of 50%. Whereas normally I run Prusament PETG to Prusament PETG into this, and the splices are 100% solid. I have very, very, very few failures. And even in this case, this piece of filament feels much weaker than this piece of filament, and they both came from, when I say feels weaker, I mean I could kink this without bending it too hard, and this is pushing back on me a lot harder than the orange piece of filament did. And I assume it's because there's some problem with the plastic that this was created out of. I'm guessing not the process, because I assume they were created with a similar process. I'll also say, and this might be a color difference, but as I'm feeling this PETG, it feels rough. There's not in this direction, but in this direction, it feels like there's like the material has a little bit of bite to it, whereas this gray, which again typically has kind of a same reflectivity and finish, this gray feels very smooth, as does, this is like sort of your terracotta color, feels very smooth. This, lengthwise, there's almost a little bit of bite on the plastic, if that makes sense. A very subtle roughness. It's not much, but it almost feels like you swiped over this with like steel wool end to end one time, or kind of just, I don't know, something happened to it. I assume it's in the plastic itself, but hopefully that helps.